Dobry dien, welcome to New Horizons RU. I am Kylie, and today we'll be working on some grain feeders for the sheep and turning out the rams. So you know how the other day we had the sheep specialist over, gave the girls vaccines, and we had a setup, the box. Now we're taking it all down. See, it's almost all gone. Yeah, it was actually a pretty good deal that we already had all the stuff around here, so just put in a few posts, stand up some gates, and we were good to go. So now today we're just taking it all back down so that the yard is cleared for the winter.
You can see we reuse these posts several times. We know that these posts are poor wood. Birch posts, they rot off fast, but they're pretty good hard material. We can put them in, take them out, and we know that in a year to 2 years they're gone, but that's all right. They're plentiful all over our land here. And at first we were cutting them by hand. Now we finally bought a chainsaw. I wish we would have right away. But yeah, tearing the old corral down. Can't even tell where it was. It took us an hour or two to put it up, and these panels, they're 3 meters or about 10 feet long. We reuse them and reuse them. Very windy day, but every day out here is a good day. There isn't a bad day at the farm. We enjoy the work. These 2 rams, you know, we put it up to the audience, you special people that watch us, to help us with a name, because I was calling them Tuck. We'll show you that towards the end of the video. $100 chainsaw, cheapest saw I ever bought, and it works fantastic. Second pull, it's running every time. These feeders, there's different feeders that are built around. Different people do different things. A lot of people make these kind of overhead feeders at an angle where the sheep reach up. The goats do it too. Reach up and they pull it down. Anything they pull out, all the little stuff falls off, hits the ground. If you watch later on in the video, you'll see where the sheep put their head in, and sheep like to hold their place. They like to get a spot and keep it so other sheep can't get in there. These are just corner braces, really reinforce and hold it together. You've got us pushing and pulling on them in the wintertime. You got the sheep pushing and pulling on them. And I know our lumber looks a little bit crusty, but we get it very reasonable priced. And the worst stuff you can see is used for the top braces in different places. So I did put one board straight across there, but usually I just put angle braces on. This lumber is all green. It's full of moisture. I mean, it's heavy. The water almost runs out of it. We're using torque screws. They're a little harder to get here. We order them online. The torque screws work so much better.
Okay, other end.
The cross screws, or what we call them in the States, was Phillips screws. They were jumping all the time. These torque screws just go. Seven of these feeders we're building. Each one can hold up to, I think it's 20 24 sheep if they're out by themselves, but we put them up against the fence. That's 22 roughly. They're heavy. Sliding them into place, they're heavy. In future videos where you see where we're getting a tractor to start helping us around the farm. Tractor took almost a month to get after we ordered it and paid for it. Those greenhouses were affordable. They were a blessing. We had a local contractor, neighbor guy that wanted to build some metal buildings for us that were completely open in one end. But the cost, the greenhouses were, I think, around $2,400 for 3 of them installed in place. They're 4 meters wide by 10 meters long. 4 meters, that's about a little over 12 feet wide by over 30 feet long. Stop. Let me bring the thing around. We'll pull that bottom one like I pulled the other one. Then 3 will come down easy. Kids love to jump on top of these bale piles. Again, we're getting a tractor in a short time. Right now, somebody needs to wash that poor old Volkswagen. Actually, our road, one trip, we wash it. One trip out here and that thing is just as dirty as it was. We live on a road that's not nice. It's full of potholes, full of mud, and even on the asphalt. It'll come off again. We price tractors here and there. They want to sell us a Chinese tractor.
Yes.
We went with a Belarus tractor. You'll see it in the next videos.
Try that.
You know, I know we're doing things the hard way and maybe it looks like the dumb way, but we're learning. The kids are learning. You know, they're young, and hooking a strap on bales, hooking it onto the vehicle, that's all part of learning. This whole farm, it's learning. The kids are learning how to roll bales and get them to where you want. These bales are a little over 300 kg. That'd be like 660 pound, 700 pound bales. Yeah, their life is about learning. And all of this is learning. Transferring the knowledge that I have to these kids is a big part of my life right now. You know, figuring out techniques of how to do stuff, how to turn a bale to get it to roll where you want it to. You know, it isn't like it's super technology, but it's all things that need to be learned. Now turn that one and roll it up over here. Yeah, once we get a tractor out here, everything changes. Just learning to work together. I'll take the netting off.
Yay, the best part.
This net wrap has been really nice. Even after they're frozen, it's a little more difficult to pull it off, but I'm amazed how it comes off. Our bale pile, we wanted to get them covered. We went to a place in local town, tried to buy sign covers.
I finished first.
One more there over there.
Tried to buy sign covers. Finally, we ordered some online. They're supposed to be in by a certain day. Then they got back ordered, came in several days later, and the rain had started. You cannot cover wet hay, but we had no idea it was going to continue raining for a month straight. And so we have some deterioration in the bales. We don't like it, but there's nothing we can do about it. But like I said, once the hay is wet, you can't cover it because that'll really intensify the foliage.
Hey girls, good day. What do you think of the snow? Hey girls, as you can see, they're completely fine. They don't even seem at all bothered by the snow or the cold. It's not that cold though. It's only like, what, -2? So, yeah, they're happy, they're healthy.
And again, this hay quality is not great. The hay farmer we got it from, all the local hay farmers, they couldn't cut hay earlier because it rained and rained and rained. Every day it rained. And finally, when it quit raining, they had just, I don't know, a couple weeks to put up hay. And then it would rain again. I've never seen such a rainy season, and talking to the local, they say it was a very rainy season this year. So sheep like young grass hay, young hay. And this hay was put up very mature. If you notice how when they get their head in, these feeders are still new to them, but later on you'll see they put their head in, they get their spot, and that way they, if you just feed them on the ground, they're pushing each other around. But here they can get their head in, get their spot chosen to be, and this avoids waste. When we had our farm in Minnesota, I maintained we had a 1% waste. Here it's above that, but different situation. But wasting your feed is just not good.
Let's put more hay. Okay.
Guy is looking for trouble.
May the snow fights begin!
I got you.
Miss.
Time for fun. Making a snowman.
Hey boys, I brought your oats. Oops. After the boys finish up their oats, they're going to get acquainted with the females. I'm going to show you guys how the feeders are turning out. It seems like the girls like them. They're functional, they work.
See how they put their heads in? They're not pulling it out on the ground. Some still gets pulled out, but
That bed of hay looks kind of comfy to lay down on and such. But the thing is, if I were to lay down in there while they're eating, I have a feeling they'd try to eat my coat. I mean, they've done it before, so... But they're kind of cute. Gonna turn them out now?
these Dorpers are nice, meaty sheep.
Hey boys, what do you think? You're gonna come out of the greenhouse, and you're gonna meet the girls. Okay, you two. There you go, boys. Tank and mini tank? What you boys think? Meet and greet. They're doing it the European style, you know, a kiss on each cheek.
See the difference in the meatiness of the sheep?
Well, they're getting to know each other, and they've stopped running away. I think that's funny. The girls have been over saying hi for like the last while. They'd come over outside of the ram's pen, and they'd be saying hi. Now you let them out, and they're running away. But yeah, they're getting acquainted now. We're finishing up the last grain feeder for the sheep. We get grain like next week. May or may not have got a bit, a bit engrossed in the work and forgot to video. Anyway, top, bottom, feed trough, put in grain, sheep happy. That's simple. Here are the 7 grain feeders. Yeah, they're tipped on their sides right now so that they don't fill up with snow. And yeah, now we're just gonna check up on our livestock and then head out. Let's play a little game. Do you guys see Mini Tank? Do you see him? If you look real close, I can barely see his head. He's shorter than the girls. He's tiny but bulky, Mini Tank. There, you kind of see his head up. Thank you all for watching. So, after reviewing a lot of your comments, Dad saw that someone said, name the little guy Jeep. You know, because it'd be pretty cool to have Tank and Jeep. The problem is, a lot of you like Tuck. And it still has a place in our heart as well. So we're stuck. We don't know which way to go. So you guys, we're leaving it up to you again. So either drop down in the comments Jeep or Tuck, or head over to our Telegram channel. I'll put up a poll, Jeep or Tank. I can't do this right. Okay, so it's either Tuck or Jeep. Help me. I can't say the names anymore. I keep getting them mixed up. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.